Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV. Revealing Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV. Revealing Jesus.
Amounted to 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun.
Welcome to the news desk on Celebration TV. I'm Belis Quetta, and thanks for joining us today. Now, the news making the rounds: National Assembly will remove direct primary clause, says Gbajabiamila. South Africans remember Desmond Tutu's fearless leadership style. Putin tells Biden new sanctions could rupture ties. The European Union countries seize 82% of Nigeria's agro products exported illegally, says the federal government. And on sports, tennis stars Zverev plans to do better after breakout in 2021. Stay with us as the details of the news comes after the short timeout. Welcome back. Now the news in full. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, says the National Assembly will revisit the Electoral Act Amendment Bill and remove the direct primary clause in it after it resumes from recess. Gbajabiamila, while unveiling some projects in Surulere, Lagos State on Thursday, also ruled out the possibility of the National Assembly vetoing the bill earlier rejected by President Muhammadu Buhari. He says following the history of the amendment of the direct and indirect primary bill, he initiated that amendment bills for a good reason, and it is for people to participate in elections. And these are the people seen around during campaigns every 4 years. And also, he said there is a process. When they come back from recess, the House will look at those amendments and that they will sit at the National Assembly and look at the reasons and that of the points, consider removing the clause and pass the bill so that they do not throw away the baby with bathwater, so he said. But then it is not his decision to make, it is the decision of the National Assembly. And if they determine that the reasons are not good enough, then there is a process prescribed by the Constitution. And now moving forward, another developments, the CNS vows clamp down on maritime troops colluding with criminals. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Lawal Gambo, on Thursday lamented that some personnel of the Nigerian Navy are conniving with criminals who commit crimes on the nation's waterway. And he warned that any personnel caught will be dealt with according to the law. And Gambo spoke during the decoration of the newly promoted Rear Admirals at the Naval Headquarters in Abuja. And he says while there are significant achievements in the various maritime crimes, there are pockets of personnel still colluding with criminals to sabotage these efforts. He therefore warns that any act of collusion with criminals who sabotage the measures in place to checkmate illegality will be met with stiff actions in accordance with the law of the land. And the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, predicted that 2022 will be more challenging for the military. And he says, although 2021 was challenging, the coming year will be tougher. He, however, expressed the confidence in the personnel of the Nigerian Armed Forces to surmount the challenges. And meanwhile, at the decoration of the newly promoted officers of the Nigerian Army, the Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Magashi, retired, called on the officers to ensure normalcy normalcy is restored in the country by adopting new strategies in the course of their duties. He also sought the support of all in ensuring Nigeria to overcome its current security challenges. And the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahaya, urged the newly promoted Major Generals to be ruthless against bandits, terrorists, and other violent groups in the country. Now, coming from around Africa, South Africans remember Desmond Tutu's fearless leadership style. South Africans are describing the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu as an irreplaceable, fearless leader. Delivering the annual Desmond Tutu Lecture at the University of the Western Cape in 2011, Archbishop Desmond Tutu strongly criticized South Africa's former president Jacob Zuma for promoting his own interest. And Tutu did not shy away from slamming former President Thabo Mbeki, his administration, on delaying the introduction of the 12 HIV and AIDS drugs treatment plan. And former local politician Zolile Kamama says that Tutu's fearlessness made him a great leader. Desmond Tutu was critical about the current government. He criticized former President Thabo Mbeki over the distribution of the ARVs, and he also didn't agree with the ongoing corruption by former President Jacob Zuma. And Tutu's leadership role expanded beyond the church. He helped lead the movement that ended the brutal regime of white minorities rule in South Africa. And a passerby, who was a taxi driver, Bonisile Shibua, says the country does not have leaders in Tutu's caliber. And Archbishop Desmond Tutu held one of the hearings at the East London City Hall in the Eastern Cape in the late 1990s. And this is where Archbishop Desmond Tutu broke down in tears while hearing the atrocities of apartheid. And the South Africans say that Tutu will be remembered for his role in bringing about justice and fighting corruption. And still from around Africa, Mali dialogue backs extending junta's mandate by 5 years. Participants in the National Conference on the Refoundation presented as the final phase of consultations prior to elections and a return of civilians to power in Mali, proposed in Bamako to extend the current transition from 6 months to 5 years. And after successive coups in August 2020 and May 2021, Mali's ruling military had pledged under pressure from the Economic Community of West African States, that's ECOWAS, and part of the international community to hand over the power to civilians after presidential and legislative elections initially scheduled for February 2022. But the junta, led by Colonel Assimi Goïta, has finally informed ECOWAS that it was unable to respect the agreement timetable and had asked the Assisi's nationals to draw up an electoral calendar. And in mid-December, ECOWAS reiterated its demand for elections on February 27th to return power to the civilians and threatened the junta with new sanctions if the timetable was not met. And the participants were in favor of extending the transition period in order to carry out the institutional reforms that will allow for credible, fair, and transparent elections. The deadlines put forward vary from 6 months to 5 years, and says the documents read at the end of the conference in the presence of Colonel Goïta. The conference participants also recommended developing new military partnership with military powers and disbanding all militias and integrating them into the Malian army, the final report said. We're going to short break. When we come back, we get more news updates from USA.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
You're welcome back. Now on more updates from the foreign scene. Putin tells Biden new sanctions could rupture ties. Russia's Vladimir Putin has warned his U.S. counterpart Joe Biden that imposing new sanctions over Ukraine could lead to a complete breakdown in relations. Mr. Biden, meanwhile, told Mr. Putin that the U.S. and its allies will respond decisively to any invasion of Ukraine. And the call requested by Russia was a pair's second such conversation this month and lasted for almost an hour. It marked the latest efforts to diffuse tensions over Ukraine's eastern border with Russia, where Ukrainian officials say more than 100,000 Russian troops have been sent. And the buildup has prompted concerns in the West, with the U.S. threatening Mr. Putin with sanctions like none he's ever seen if Ukraine comes under any attack. And Russia, however, denies it's planning to invade the country and says the troops are there for exercises. It says it is entitled to move its troops freely on its own soil. And now more updates from India. India missed its vaccination target. India has missed the target of giving its entire adult population of 940 million two vaccinations by the end of 2021. And the target was first announced by Prakash Javadekar in May, who was the minister in the federal government at the time. And vaccinations in India will be completed by December 2021, he said by then. And as of 30th December, 64% of India's adult population is fully vaccinated and around 90% has received the first dose. An expert says achieving the target of full vaccination coverage will take a long time. And Dr. Chandrakant Laradhia, an epidemiologist and also a health system specialist, says the target set by the government was unrealistic because achieving 100% vaccine at any given period will not be possible. And there will be always some people who are unwilling to get vaccinated for various reasons, he added. And now coming to business news, the European Union countries have seized 82% of Nigeria's agro products exported illegally, says the federal government. About 80% of agro products from Nigeria that are intercepted and seized by the European Union member nations and exported illegally, the federal government has said. And it explained that most of the products were prohibited for export by the government, adding that people illegally moved the items out of the country without clearance by the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service. The NEWSDESK is a regulatory agency under the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development that harnesses plants, veterinary and aquatic resources quarantined in Nigeria. And it promotes and regulates sanitary and phytosanitary measures in connecting with the import and exports of agricultural products with a view of minimizing the risk of agricultural economy, food safety, and also the environment. And the Director General of the NEWSDESK, Vincent Isegbe, explained that the interception of the agricultural exports from Nigeria by the European Union countries was basically due to the absence of the quarantine service in most Nigerian borders. And Isegbe says in all that records, they have of all the agro products interceptions between 80 to 82% and are all prohibited items. And now moving forward, the Central Bank of Nigeria forex policies may threaten economic growth in 2022, says reports. The Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprises, an economic think tank, has said the monetary and foreign exchange policy rigidities of the federal government may disrupt the economic growth of the nation in the year 2022. The Central Bank of Nigeria is responsible for monetary and forex policies in the country. And according to the organization, there is no indication that the nation will shift from its current monetary and foreign exchange policy, and these may hamper economic growth in 2022. The center says money and foreign exchange policies rigidities may also pose a risk to the growth outlook, as there are no indications of any significant shift in monetary and foreign exchange policy strands in the next term. Consequently, the distortions inherent in the forex exchange market will persist in 2022, and the constraining effects of the high cash reserve requirements on financial intermediations will also persist in 2022, with a dampening effect on the growth outlook. And according to the private sector body, while the economic outlook for the Nigerian economy in 2022 is largely positive, with gross domestic product growth to remain at a fragile 3%, the problem of the insecurity will impact significantly on the economy. And it also added that the agricultural sector in particular would be affected as perception of Nigeria as an investing destination continues to diminish. We'll take another short break right now. When we come back, we get news from the world of sports. Don't go anywhere.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
Welcome back. Now on sports news. Tennis star Zverev plans to do better after a breakout in 2021. Alexander Zverev had the best season of his career in 2021, and the world number 3 said Friday he plans to do even better in the coming year, starting at the ATP Cup. The German ace captured his second ATP Finals title in November and producing a brilliant performance to defeat world number 2 Daniil Medvedev, adding to the Olympic gold medals he won in Tokyo. That trophy in Turin was his 6th of the year, and he is keen to carry the momentum forward, starting with a tough opening clash of 2022 on Sunday against Britain's 12th ranked Cameron Norrie at the ATP Cup in Sydney. Zverev also won the ATP Finals title in 2018, only to have a poor 2019. But he says he had grown as a player and person since then, and also expects it to be a springboard for even a better season this time around. And also from the world of sports, Ronaldo and McTominay score in United 3-1 win. Manchester United cruised to a morale-boosting 3-1 win against Burnley on the eve of Alex Ferguson's 80th birthday to strengthen their push for a Premier League top 4 finish. Scott McTominay puts United in front early, and a Ben Mee own goal doubled their lead before Cristiano Ronaldo finished imprudently to put Ralf Rangnick's men 3-0 up. Veteran winger Aaron Lennon punctured the party atmosphere at Old Trafford towards the end of the first half, giving Shindichi's depleted team hope, but United largely boast a flat second period. And the Red Devils announced 6 spots, 4 points behind the 4th place Arsenal, with a game in hand after interim manager Rangnick shuffled his pack following a disappointing draw at Newcastle. The German says he still has work to do with his defense, but says that physically and energetically it was a good performance. And for them, it's about taking next development steps. Therefore, it was important for them to win the game, that he said. And Rangnick, who took the helm after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was sacked last month, made 6 changes to his starting 11, rejigging his defense and starting Jadon Sancho and Edinson Cavani in attack. What a wonderful performance there from the Red Devils. That's the size of the news we have today on Celebration Television News Desk. If you're just watching us, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. National Assembly will remove a direct primaries clause, says Gbajabia Miller. South Africans remember Desmond Tutu's fearless leadership style. President Putin tells Biden that new sanctions could rupture their ties. EU countries seize 82% of Nigeria's agro-product exported illegally, says the federal government. And on sports, tennis star Zverev plans to do better after breakout in 2021. And today on our photo of the day, we can see her first picture, someone is playing a violin and it is actually irritating those around him. And the second picture shows him performing on a stage and everyone is attentive. You know, all great achievements require time, so we must not be in a hurry. Take your time and achieve all your dreams. Work for it and it will come as you have desired due to your work and also by the grace of God. Okay, so you can tell us your thoughts of the photo of the day today on social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, we are My Celebration TV. On Twitter, it's at My Celebration TV. And on YouTube, it's Celebration TV. Don't forget that your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself or the organization you work defines your leadership might. And as an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed, has backed his ways to success. And be it known today that everything we do, feel, think, and also believe either has a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. So be a part of nation building today. Thanks for watching the news on Celebration Television News Desk. It's actually the last day of the year, and I want to wish all of you a very prosperous new year. My name is Belly Squatter. Thanks for watching. See you next year.
Amounted to 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing AIN of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun.